There comes a moment when something inside you shifts, and suddenly the world you once understood no longer fits the woman you've grown into. You look around and notice that certain behaviors, certain people, certain spaces that once felt familiar now feel heavy. This isn't confusion. This isn't hesitation. This is clarity rising like the first light after a long night. And what you're feeling is the awakening of something ancient within you. It's the emergence of the part of you that was always meant to lead your life. What you're sensing isn't imagined. Your awareness has sharpened before your circumstances have adjusted. Where you once saw care, you now see manipulation. Where you once believed you were being protected, you now notice control. This shift didn't happen because you became bitter or unkind. It happened because your deeper self stopped negotiating with patterns that shrink you. And even though this awakening doesn't arrive with quick answers, it comes with a quiet, undeniable truth you can no longer unsee what has been revealed. As we move through this together, we'll explore what this awakening actually means, why it disrupts everything around you, and how this energy, when fully lived, reshapes not only your inner world, but the entire structure of your relationships, your boundaries, and the direction of your life. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to the person you've always been. Beneath the expectations placed on you, beneath the masks you wore to keep peace, beneath the silence you used to avoid being labeled too intense, the discomfort you feel isn't a sign that something inside you is breaking. It's a sign that something inside you has stopped agreeing to the unacceptable. You might feel as though you're abandoning an older version of yourself, the one who smiled through discomfort, who swallowed her truth to keep harmony, who shrank so others could feel bigger. But what's really happening is that your soul is refusing to stay hidden any longer. For years, maybe even decades, you carried roles that were handed to you without your consent. The responsible daughter, the selfless giver, the woman who held everyone else together while quietly falling apart inside. These identities weren't chosen on purpose. They were picked up over time, learned from generations of women who also learned to stay small. Your invisibility wasn't random. It was shaped, praised, and reinforced. You noticed early that your full presence made some people uncomfortable. So you dimmed your light, softened your voice, made yourself easy to overlook. But this awakening ends that pattern, not for others, but for you. You stop seeking outside approval because you finally give it to yourself. You no longer need someone to confirm your value before you feel it. This transformation starts internally, but its effects move outward like a ripple. The people who depended on your silence, your softness, your self-erasure feel the shift immediately. They sense that something is different, even if they don't have words for it. And their discomfort is not something you are responsible for soothing. There's something deeply freeing about the moment you realize that other people's frustration with your boundaries isn't proof that you've done something wrong. It's proof that you've stopped doing something harmful to yourself. For so long, you may have measured your goodness by how much discomfort you could absorb for others, how much you could shrink to keep peace, how invisible you'd become to avoid triggering anyone's insecurity or anger. But the wiser part of you understands a different truth. It knows that relationships built on your disappearance aren't real relationships at all. They're arrangements, and you're no longer willing to participate in arrangements that cost you your soul. Every part of us has a shadow, and the part of you that is rising has one too. The shadow isn't bad. It's simply the pieces of yourself you were taught to fear or hide. The shadow shows up as the fear of being too much, the fear of being judged for taking your rightful place. You might feel guilty when you set boundaries. You might worry about being called selfish, distant, ungrateful. These aren't your authentic feelings. They're leftovers from old conditioning that taught you your needs were inconvenient, your desires were selfish, and your independence was a betrayal. The shadow whispers that if you stop shrinking, you'll lose love. But what you're at risk of losing isn't love at all. It's dependence, it's control. It's a relationship pattern that only worked when you stayed small. Growing into your full self means accepting a simple truth. You can be deeply loved and fully sovereign at the same time, not in spite of your boundaries, but because of them. Not despite your self-respect, but through it. When this deeper part of you awakens, the energy around you begins to shift. You don't force it. It just happens. People who once had unlimited access to your time, your energy, your emotional labor start to feel a distance. Not because you've pushed them away, but because you've stopped holding up lopsided relationships. You've stopped doing the emotional work for people who won't do their own. You've stopped filling empty spaces that were never meant to be yours. And the patterns you inherited, patterns passed quietly from generation to generation, start to break with you because you've become conscious enough to stop repeating them. You may be the first woman in your whole family line to finally refuse the old story. The first to choose your own well, being over forced harmony. The first to say no without carrying guilt. The first to see that peace built on your silence is not peace at all. It's suppression wearing a friendly mask. And when you end that pattern, you don't just free yourself, you free every woman who comes after you. The shift in your relationships isn't punishment. It's a natural response to your growth. When you rise, the energy around you rises too. The people who align with your new pace stay close or get even closer. The ones who can't or don't want to shift will drift away. That isn't harshness, it's alignment. It's life-clearing space for what truly matches who you're becoming. There is a real difference between abandonment and sacred withdrawal. A queen doesn't walk away from people to prove a point or get revenge. She simply steps back from places and relationships that no longer honor her. She understands that not every connection deserves her full presence, her deepest honesty, or her unlimited access. This isn't coldness, it's clarity. It's the wisdom that comes from realizing your energy is limited, valuable, and yours to protect. Stepping back is not rejection. It's refusing to betray yourself again. You create space not to punish anyone, but to protect the ground your new life is growing on. In this intentional quiet, in this chosen distance, you start rebuilding your inner kingdom. You're not doing this to shut people out. You're doing it to step fully into yourself, without apology, without pretending, without the exhausting pressure of proving your worth. And from this place of inner strength, something amazing happens. The right people, real connections, aligned relationships, never ask you to shrink. They welcome your fullness. They respect your boundaries. They meet you as an equal, not as someone who must save them or serve them. Your life will begin to change because you've already changed inside. The outside world is always slower, but it always catches up. You won't go back to accepting emotional crumbs. You won't return to relationships that drain you and call it love. You won't fall into the old pattern of asking permission to shine. The change is permanent. Not because you're forcing anything, but because you've crossed an inner line you cannot uncross. The outside results might take time. You may not see evidence right away. But under the surface, everything is shifting. New opportunities appear. New people show up. Paths that felt blocked begin to open. It isn't magic. It's resonance. It's the simple truth that your external world eventually reflects your internal world. A queen doesn't chase transformation. She lives her truth, and life rearranges itself around that truth. What makes this awakening so powerful is that it isn't an act. You're not pretending to be confident. You're not faking steadiness. You've just stopped leaving yourself behind in the presence of others. You've stopped confusing self-betrayal with kindness. And this realness, this grounded energy, sends out a signal that can't be ignored or minimized. People feel it even when you say nothing. They sense that something is different, that you're no longer available for the old patterns, the old roles, the old agreements that kept you small. True transformation isn't about adding anything new to yourself. It's about releasing everything that was never you. The masks, the conditioning, the inherited shame. The belief that your worth depends on how much you give. As those layers fall away, what remains is your true self. And your true self doesn't need to dominate or prove anything. It simply exists in full strength. This is why everything changes now. Not because you became someone else, but because you stopped pretending to be someone you never were. The woman who tolerated disrespect to keep the peace. She was a mask. The woman who swallowed her truth to avoid conflict. She was survival, not authenticity. The woman who dimmed her light so others could feel comfortable. She was trained, not natural. Beneath all that, there was always a queen. She was waiting for you to remember her. The remembering isn't always gentle. It can shake you. It can feel confusing or even frightening. Because when you remember your power, you remember all the moments you gave it away. Every time you said yes when you meant no. Every time you apologized for existing. Every relationship where you loved yourself less so someone else could feel more. The grief that rises deserves space. You're not just stepping into something new. You're grieving the years you spent far from yourself. But alongside that grief, there is a quiet strength, a deep knowing, a steady sense of truth that doesn't require anyone else's approval. You begin trusting your perceptions again. You stop doubting your own intuition. You see clearly that the discomfort others feel when you set boundaries is not your responsibility. Their discomfort is simply information, proof of dynamics that worked for them, but never worked for you. And you stop sacrificing yourself to keep systems alive that only operated when you were smaller. This awakening is the moment when every part of you begins to line up. The moment when your awareness finally matches what your soul has always known. You are whole. You are enough. You deserve respect, love, rest, space, and joy. Not because you earned it. Not because you proved anything. But because you exist. And when this truth settles in your body, everything shifts. Even the way you relate to your own body changes. You stop punishing it for not meeting impossible standards. You begin to treat it with care instead of criticism. And from here, everything new can finally begin. Your relationship with time starts to shift. You stop filling every minute with tasks just to prove you matter. Your relationship with your voice shifts too. You stop shrinking your words just to keep others comfortable. Your relationship with desire changes. You stop feeling guilty for wanting more, for expecting balance, for claiming joy and ease as something you're naturally allowed to have. The queen doesn't live from scarcity. She knows real power isn't about grabbing or controlling anything. It's about letting energy move in a way that respects everyone involved, including herself. She gives freely, but not at the cost of her own well-being. She loves deeply, but not at the cost of her integrity. She stays open, but not to everyone and everything. She learns the quiet skill of discernment, the sacred ability to choose what and who is allowed into her inner world. That discernment may look like distance, to people who were used to having you available on demand. It may feel like rejection to those who never had to consider your needs. But you're not here to protect their comfort while you grow. Your responsibility is to yourself, to your truth, to the woman you're becoming as you release the woman you were trained to be. And as you honor that responsibility, something powerful happens. You stop calling in relationships built on need and start attracting relationships built on resonance. The people who enter your life now meet you at the level you've stepped into. They don't require you to shrink. They don't gain anything from your confusion. They celebrate your clarity. They respect your boundaries. They meet your energy instead of draining it. And this isn't because you suddenly became selective in some cold way. It's because your frequency shifted. And frequency is honest. It doesn't pretend. It doesn't manipulate. It simply brings in what matches it and lets go of what doesn't. One of the most surprising parts of this transformation is how it changes your relationship with solitude. Where you once feared being alone, thinking it meant failure or lack of worth, you now see it as sacred space. The queen knows solitude and loneliness are not the same. Solitude is chosen. It's the place where you meet yourself without anyone else's projections, needs, or expectations weighing on you. In that space, you hear your own voice clearly, maybe for the first time in years. And what you hear isn't the old judgment you absorbed from people who needed you small. It's the sound of your real essence, steady, calm, sure, reminding you that you've always been enough. There's a peace that rises from that alignment, a stillness that doesn't depend on anything happening outside you. You could be in a huge transition, endings, uncertainty, and yet beneath it all, there's a groundedness you didn't have before. This is the queen's peace. Not the peace of having everything solved, but the peace that comes from fully trusting yourself. The peace of knowing that no matter what comes next, you will not abandon yourself again. You won't betray your truth to keep fake harmony. You won't dim your light to make shadows comfortable. The queen within you doesn't dismiss any part of you. She doesn't push away your softness or your strength, your sensitivity or your fire, your past or your potential. She holds all of it with clarity and compassion. She knows you can be kind and still have boundaries, loving and still sovereign, generous and still honoring yourself. These pieces are not contradictions. They are the wholeness of a woman who has taken herself back. The fear that you'll lose people as you rise is real. Some relationships won't survive your evolution. But what falls away were connections built on you abandoning yourself. What arrives are connections built on who you truly are. And there's no comparison. One drains you, the other strengthens you. One demands your shrinking, the other reflects your expansion. One mirrors who you were told to be, the other mirrors who you actually are. You're seeing all of this because your queen energy is waking up, not as an idea you hope for someday, but as a real presence inside you. She's the part of you that has always known your worth, even when you forgot. She's the whisper that says no when everything around you expects yes. She's the presence that refuses to erase herself ever again. Everything changes because the woman you are now cannot live in the old life you had yesterday. The mismatch creates tension, discomfort, friction. And that discomfort is the spark that leads to transformation. Your mind won't let you stay in places where you must shrink. Your body won't tolerate relationships that drain you. Your spirit won't accept choices that betray your essence. The queen is awake now, and she is reorganizing your life to fit your truth. This isn't happening to you. It's happening through you. You're not a victim of this shift. You're the one leading it.